Boom, 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 boom. Hello. Hey guys. What's up, coworkers? Yeah.
Yeah, we was on point with that one.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers to Jinx. But welcome back to episode, I don't even know the number, but I am
so far in, that's why.
Yeah, right. We're so consistent. I am Dana.
And I'm Aaron.
Yes. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of the We Outside Afterwork podcast. All right. So because we are on episode we don't even know, and I listen to a lot of podcasts. I don't know about you, but do you feel like there's a lot of options when it comes to different podcasts? I honestly think that's a good thing, though.
It's a good thing because it's a lot of different spaces to hear information and entertainment. So like depending on the genres you want to listen to. Yeah. But it's a lot.
But I love that variety, because I've also heard people say that not everyone should have a podcast and not everyone can talk. But who made you the podcast police? Like,
the podcast police, I like that.
Who's like the decision maker to say, well, your conversational skills or your opinions are better than mine, so I should have a podcast and you should not?
But I do think some people shouldn't have a podcast.
Why? Like, what correlates to them they shouldn't have a podcast? Because
banter is very important, right? If you and me have no chemistry, why would I want to watch that? And you can tell sometimes people don't have
You can
chemistry.
Definitely tell. There's one particular podcast I listen to.
You want to put the name out there, or you?
No. I'm not going to say the name. But they aren't friends. Like, it's a duo. They're not friends. Like, in real life, they do not hang out. They do not really talk. Everything is just strictly podcast based. And they have a really big following. And I just thought that was so strange, because I'm like, how are you doing something so intimate? Because like, this is a lot of intimate conversation with someone that you just don't talk to outside of the studio.
I mean, that's how the Breakfast Club is. The Breakfast Club, they're not friends outside of the Breakfast Club. At least that's what they said.
Charlamagne and Envy are.
They became friends, but you know, it didn't start off with them as three friends. Yee came from another space. Charlamagne came from another space. Envy.
But they come from a radio background,
and that's probably what helps them.
Yeah, because radios and podcasting, like, yes, they're similar, but radio has been around for a long time. Like, I don't even know when that shit started, but it was very professional. Like, you have a script, you know, you have an outline, but you have specific topics that you're talking about. And then with a podcast, it is a lot of opinion based, and then you have like people that come on that are friends. But I think because we have entered the podcast era and a lot of companies are putting a budget for advertising on podcasts, that's why I feel like they kind of are now similar to each other. But radio and podcasting, I feel like, are still so different. So it can be to where, like, on the Breakfast Club, like, we're not friends out here, but this is a job. But podcasting, like, it just seems like we should in some way have something that because like with us, right?
Yeah, but now people make it a job.
They do.
It's actually crazy, because I sent Dana a screenshot last week about this woman whose name is actually Dana. And on that podcast, she went ballistic. She went crazy because she was asking people to send her cash apps and send her different things. And then somebody in the comments was like, you acting like such a boss. Why we got to send you cash app? Why you begging for money? And she was like, I don't have to beg for money and anything, but this is my livelihood. Like, I know how to get to this money, and I know that doing this show and entertaining y'all is what pays my bills. So I get it. Like, I support all creatives and everything wholeheartedly, because it's a hard ass world out here, and I would rather not be under the confines of somebody else's control.
I agree. But I was just going to say, with us, like, outside of the podcast, like, we are friends and we tend to just have conversations anyway. And that's why it made sense for us
Dana
to
do not like getting off the phone. She be talking. She be going.
Yeah, my voice notes be a minimum of 2 minutes. Like, I gotta get out all the details.
I gotta press the screen when Dana sends a voice note, like, because that should be ready to black out. Like, it's okay. I listen to him
because I need to give the backstory if I'm sending a voice note. Like, I cannot send a 15-second voice note. Like, it never happens. So either like I'm gonna call and pick up the phone and we'll have a conversation, or the voice note is gonna be long as fuck.
Yeah, and I'll be sending paragraph text. That's my thing.
I hate paragraph text.
My shits be long as shit.
I cannot send paragraph text. Like when it comes to paragraph text, have you ever seen that like it's like a meme or something where it's like a girl will put a big ass paragraph of her feelings to a guy, and then he'll either respond to one thing or say, okay, bet.
Yeah, because y'all saying a lot.
But I respond like that. If you send me a paragraph, I'm giving you 2 words.
The one thing I do hate more than voice notes is when you send me multiple texts in a row. Not you, because Dana don't do this.
I do that sometimes.
Well, maybe
if I'm at work, if I'm at work, I'll do it.
But when you send me 33 different blurbs of text, like, what do you want me to answer?
Yeah.
Like, am I supposed to answer the first
Are
one?
they
and
all
then the
different
third
questions?
You know how women operate. Because men don't text like that.
No, not all women are like that.
Can we rewind that and do the face again?
No, all women are different, because to me, the way I text, and I've gotten people tell me this, that I am just better to be around in person and over the phone. Like, I'm not a big FaceTimer. Someone tried to FaceTime me actually this morning at like 10 a.m. I was already on my phone, like just scrolling on Instagram. Saw the FaceTime call coming in, and I'm looking like, why the fuck are you FaceTiming me at 10 a.m. in the morning?
Because you off.
I waited for it to end, and then I called them regular. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, how's your morning going? Didn't even acknowledge the FaceTime, because it's like, it's too early.
So I think FaceTiming is actually really important, at least once, right? Because online dating is very, very popular.
Okay.
You don't be trusting what you be seeing.
No, you definitely have the FaceTime, for sure.
I'm going to need the FaceTime.
That goes back to our catfish episode. Like, we need to see you face to face prior to meeting in person.
No, I need to see you face to toe. I need it because it was a midget one.
You be having them like shorty body on FaceTime?
No, not like that. But I mean, you got to make sure, because the last thing you want to do is walk into Leprechaun. Like,
what the fuck? Wait, hold on. What are you talking about? Yeah, give us some backstory.
So,
like, what Leprechaun?
For my small duration of time that I've experienced online dating, I tried to, get on Hinge, and it was this young lady. She was such a nice young lady.
Was the chemistry and the conversation?
It was
really
alright,
good?
but everything changes when you meet somebody.
It is like in person, and that was actually an issue where I stopped dating for a while, because I'm a good conversationalist. Like, I have something about me that people tend to just confide in. Like, they tell me their deepest, darkest fucking secrets.
I think we share that. There must be a Sagittarius thing.
I'm a Pisces.
Yeah, it must be a Sagittarius thing. Yeah, Sagittarius.
No.
You know leap years.
Pisces,
you know how leap years work?
No.
That means you was really born in November. That's
my moon is a Sag.
See, I knew what I was talking about.
That's funny though. Like, that's my funny. But yeah, so I guess I have a Sagittarius quality in me.
I don't know what the moon means, but anyway, so I was talking to this young lady, and things was going okay. So everybody wants to meet. They want to go on a date. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Take this girl out on a date. I had to work this same day though, so I'm like, whatever. I'll just throw some clothes in the car and I'll just shoot down the Parkway. Shot down the Parkway, and I'm kind of excited. She was cool. Paige said 5'1". Now I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt.
You never asked, like,
I don't need to ask how tall you are or how big you are.
Maybe it's a woman thing, because I asked that. Like, I don't care what the dating app says.
I don't want to say I'm 6'2", 220.
Because like, whatever the dating app says or whatever, when I was on dating apps for a short amount of time, like, I asked those questions. Maybe as a woman, it's not like, as a guy, like, you guys don't care to share that information about you, but like,
I don't mind
from
sharing.
a woman's perspective, it's always been like, don't ask their weight or whatever. But like, I'm above average when it comes to height. Right, like, I'm 5'9", 5'10", and most women, they're like 5'5". So
you just tell niggas you a model, they'll fall for it.
I'm actually a sign model.
She's an assigned model, y'all. See, it's not even false; it's facts.
But I don't take any jobs because it doesn't work around my work schedule.
Man, you better figure that out. We trying to get in the L.
I literally get
what's Tyra Banks thing?
Like
America's Next Top Model, all of that.
Like every week. Like they asked me to come to Vegas, Miami, Atlanta. It's crazy.
We outside after work, co-workers. We taking this show on the road. We gonna be in Vegas. Hey Marv, you coming with us?
Our engineer Marvin is coming. No, but like if I'm able to get a job remote, I'm telling you, like I'm taking all these jobs.
See, I knew it was something special about my coworker.
Wow.
I knew it.
So that's what it takes to be special.
You've been special. Okay. You've been special. But so I took this ride and I met with this young lady. Mm-hmm. And I was so excited.
So you pulled up and she got in your car, or
I'm gonna break it down. So because I'm a gentleman, right? What I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to pull up, get out of my car. I'm supposed to have her door open.
You go open a door. Yes,
flowers,
chivalry is important.
That shit. She came down the stairs. I'm not gonna make no jokes.
We're not laughing at that. That's
I said I'm not making no jokes.
Keep laughing at
anyway, so she came downstairs, whimpering and skimpering and whatnot, and she gets to the car, and I didn't think it was her because she was the size of a small child.
Okay.
But lo and behold, it was her. All 4'6" of her.
That's not bad.
Do you know what 4'6" looks like?
Nothing. I don't know what it looks like.
First off, I have a cousin that is a dwarf, and it's not.
That's offensive.
I don't think it's offensive. Dwarfism is. Sorry, I don't.
That word is offensive. It's called little person.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be offensive. But
please don't cancel us before we even get on.
It's my cousin. I hope she wouldn't cancel me.
No, I'm saying people watching this.
But yeah, like I had no problem. We went out. We had a dope time. Mm-hmm. Steak dinner. Like
okay.
Gave it a works.
So what was like? Did you have an issue with that? Or
I did have an issue because it's dishonest.
Oh, so you felt like she lied?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you would have told me beforehand, then I probably might not have been cool with it, but I might have. We never know. I actually, to bring back our catfish story, I actually met a girl in college. She only had one arm, right? But she took all her pictures sideways.
We are gonna change topics because
I'm just saying.
Fucking with that. That's terrible.
It's not terrible that she
just to add to your what you say, you felt dishonest that she lied about her height. I feel like for me that actually happened to where I don't date anyone that's shorter than 6'2"
because they're not taller than you in heels. Well, while you wear heels,
but
you don't even wear heels.
Right, but that's a whole other story. Why? Like, it's not because like I'm taller. Like, I truly like they're just not fucking comfortable. Like, I fucking hate heels. Like, I'm sorry.
The short men were uncomfortable. Like,
short men have the utmost confidence. Like, they do not care. Like, they approach me and all of that. But like, I instantly friend zone them because I know for a fact that my husband is not gonna be shorter than me. Like, I don't care.
It's actually crazy. I think short men are the most unappreciated humans as a category. Like big girls, men like big girls, right?
But everyone has a preference, though.
No one has a preference for short men.
Everyone has a preference.
No one has a preference for short men. I actually feel bad for them.
That's their issue. I'm saying for me, though, like personally, because I am tall and because like I just want someone that is bigger than me, you have to be at least 6'2". So someone that I went on a date with, like their profile did say 6'3", and met in person, and he was like my height. And I felt like it was dishonest, but he still like kept saying, I was like, because I asked him in person, I was like, how tall are you? And he was like, I'm 6'3". I was like, ain't no way. Like, you know me, like I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. I'm like, ain't no way you 6'3".
Did you pull out the tape measure?
We did shoulder to shoulder. Shoulder to shoulder, and he was like, yeah, I'm 6'3".
You just got some big ass shoulders to him. That's all that is.
No, like, but he was really like just like not, he was not denying it. I was like, okay, like if that's what you say.
Listen,
but it just seemed like dishonesty to me.
Yeah, dishonesty is probably one of the worst things when it comes to dating, especially in today's environment where, in all honesty, just go out there, get in how you fit in.
Just go after what you want. But like, don't settle.
You gotta tell people what it is, though.
Yeah,
because motherfuckers is falling in love out here. Like,
do you watch that show Love is Blind?
I watched the first season with Lauren and the white guy.
Yes, I watched the first season. I did not watch the second season, but I'm watching the third one because I saw a clip where
with the
a guy
Korean
was
guy and a big girl.
They're in it, but the clip was one of the guys was laid up with the girl and was like how he's catching feelings with somebody else. And from that clip, I was just like, well, let me just watch the fucking season. But anyway, most people watch that show. It was like number 1 on shows on Netflix. I don't understand the concept of this show.
Why not?
Because I don't know how long they're in these pods where like, so guys, if you're not familiar with the show, it is a dating series where people, they're on couches like this and they are talking to someone through a wall on the opposite side.
With a blindfold on for whatever reason, right?
Not a blindfold. No.
So they were sitting across from each other when they had the blindfold on. Because I seen the Korean guy and the bigger girl that likes
I don't remember that part, but let me just give them the gist of the show. So there's a wall right in the middle of them and they can hear everything and like talk and just tell them like what they like and dislike and what they're looking for in a partner. And so in order to get out of the pod, you have to find someone to say, I love you to meet in person. And then now you start really spending time together and going on vacation and shit. But I'm watching season 3 and this was probably like 2 days into the pod. And this guy is like crying, confessing his love to this woman on the opposite side. And then they meet and it just seems so fucking fake.
So let me give you the opposite perspective real quick. We both went to college. How are those relationships in terms of how fast you fell for somebody?
This was 2 days though.
That's
not realistic.
Compared to you outside of college, right? Weren't your college relationships like everything is so instant? So now you're confined in this psychological system.
I think it has to do with age because in college though, like we are younger, we don't really have a lot of life experiences, but most of the people on this show, like they are in like their mid 30s and late 30s. I don't know how old it goes up to, but at that point, they all are ready to settle down. Like that's one of the common things that they have. Yes. But my thing is like, after talking for 2 days, like, is it because that's what the show is? In order for you to get to know somebody, you have to say I love you?
I think it's a psychological thing where you're hyper focused on finding your person, which is something I don't believe in.
You don't believe that people have their one person?
It could be possible for some. It could be.
I think it's
possible
multiple
for many,
people,
but I don't know if that's an actual thing. But because you're so hyper focused on this is my person and everything that I say you agree with, everything that you say I agree with. First off, that's not healthy. That's a recipe for disaster. Like this entire show is flawed. Yeah. Which is why I watch Married at First Sight.
That's my show. I love that show. Do you watch Ready to Love? That's the black version.
I've never seen Ready to Love. No.
Oh my God, you gotta watch it. Right, so it's a black dating show. I think it comes on the OWN network.
I don't support Oprah.
Okay, well it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to watch it on the OWN network, but the series is on Hulu. And they go to different cities. So they've been to Houston and DC.
Would you go on it?
I would go on it. Like that is the only dating show I would go on.
Would you go on Married at First Sight?
Fuck no. Because I've seen a couple episodes like when like everything is cool and copacetic like when they go on vacation, but the moment they live together and have to like start sharing space, most times it goes downhill on that show.
I'm with you every day.
Yeah.
Like, and I do think this is the most important aspect of having a partner is I need to see what you are like every single day. I cannot marry you based on the old school. Let's court, let's date. Now we're married. Now we're stuck together. It's
time spent.
Yeah, like
it's
I need
like how, because that's actually very important to me. Is like how are you in different situations? Like when we just do regular things like going out to eat, or when we go on vacation. Not even vacation, because like I have to really like someone to go on vacation because that's a lot of planning, and I'm stuck with you in a foreign country for 3 to 4 days. Like if I'm not fucking with you on day one, now I got 3 more days with you. Like, so
you against getting flued out?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm against flying them out, but if they fly me out, then
with the flued out thing though, with being flued out, it's under the premise that the guy that you're going to, y'all are having sex. Like that is just the underlining thing. So women who try to act oblivious, like, no, I'm just going out there to meet you and see you. If he's paying for everything for you to go see him, It doesn't, but that's still a transaction.
Well, I also agree that sex is transactional. I don't agree with it in that regard.
No, the reason why sex is transactional in that sense is because if you don't really know this person, I'm saying, because most women that get flued out, like, they haven't been like this isn't someone they're pursuing either. Because when you think of pursuing, it's usually a guy going off after a woman. But if you guys are serious on like, I want to build from this with you, but you just so happen to live in a different state, and we've been talking for like X amount of days, and days, and now they're like, I want to fly you out. They are doing that with the intention of having sex with you.
Is that a red flag?
What do you mean, is it a red flag?
Like, if I've known you for days and I'm willing to fly you out, is that not a red flag?
I wouldn't. It's a red flag to me.
I think that's a red flag.
I wouldn't do it because I know, like, I don't really know this person. If they want to pay for my flight, they want to pay for my hotel, they want to
pay for you to go to the doctors?
They want to pay for all it is, and you just gonna show up and just be yourself, be like, hey, like, they just want to hang out with you. They could hang out with whoever is close to them anyway.
I'm gonna disagree just a tad bit, because I might want to hang out with you that bad. Like, I think you're a dope person. And I also believe, matter of fact, how about I fly you out on your period? This way, we all understand that this ain't about to go down. So I show you that I'm genuine.
So you're going to ask the woman, like, let me know when you're on your period so I can book this flight.
Or like, you pay attention, like, because
you don't know her, but you don't know her though.
As a clever
ask.
person, I pay attention to small things like that, right? So if you would have said something like, you're on your cycle 13 days ago, I'll look at my chart and I'll calculate it.
But how does that come up in conversation?
Easily. We talking. Like, how you feeling? Oh, my stomach hurt. You need some chocolate? Little shit like that. Like,
so you would intentionally try to get that out of her to see when she's on her period so you can fly her out. Okay. Well, that's you. That's you.
But see, that's also
I don't
brownie
think most men don't do that.
Because men don't operate off of brownie points. Little things like that helps you get a woman, and I don't mean to say this in a predatory way, but it helps you get a woman comfortable. Right? It helps you make a woman feel like, if I do fly out to see this man, I don't feel like he's going to do me dirty. I don't feel like he's going to just like slut me out and never talk to me again, because I'm showing you patterns of me actually paying attention to you.
That is you. That is not usually
the case. That's green flags, by the way.
But that's usually not the case. Most men who are flying women out, they have the intention of, and maybe they may not do it, but like, they want to have sex with somebody. Because if you are financially funding this trip for someone to come see you, you could have had anyone around you come see you.
But we know that isn't the case, because most men struggle locally. That's typically,
I don't know that.
These niggas be struggling. These niggas can't find a girl in their area. That's why they dating app settings be 100 miles. These niggas be out here trying to operate with women that they can't pursue on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Go to the local club. There's plenty of different girls you ain't never seen at the local fucking club.
Yeah, just change where you go to hang out, I guess. But all right, well, guys, today is Halloween, so we are recording 2 episodes today for you.
I'm a trick and a treat.
I'm dead. So you a trick?
I'm not a trick. I'm not a trick. Hell no.
Don't put that out there. You're gonna have women in your DMs looking for that.
They're gonna be
looking for you to pay and fly them out to the city and show them around New York.
They're gonna get flied out to Newark. Y'all want to go to Newark? They want to go to Newark?
Newark Airport is there.
We can get a Italian cheeseburger.
Y'all gonna hang out in Newark though?
We can go to get an Italian cheeseburger.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it is Halloween, guys, and we want to talk about costumes and the most type of costumes for women and men. So I would say for females, like, a lot of them, they tend to be, well, Halloween in general for women is just like our day to
be sluts.
To not sluts. Why does it gotta be sluts?
Amber Rose said that is an acceptable word.
No, it's not.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's
I tried to listen to a woman.
No, because if you went up to a woman with a costume on, like, oh, you a slut, you think she's gonna take that?
Oh, that looks wonderfully slutty.
That sounds crazy.
Okay, I thought it was very complimentary.
No, that's not complimentary at all.
That's how they was in Hooters the other day. Like, the girl's pussy lips was out of her damn. Can I say that? I don't know if we gonna get flagged.
I don't know.
And then she had like this bustier where, like, I don't even think breast built.
Was it
like
that. A corset?
I don't
top?
fucking know. The shit looked crazy. Like, bless
All
her
right.
heart.
But yeah, like Halloween is the day where females tend to just wear very revealing things. I'm not gonna lie, like usually like Halloween I dress up like that too. So I was a schoolgirl a couple years ago. Last year I was a dark angel where I had like the wings and the halo, and then I had like a corset top, fishnets, and I think I had on some boots or whatever. But it was cute. Like it was real cute, real comfortable. Like what would you say is a guy's equivalent, or like most men tend to be this for Halloween?
Men are boring.
They are boring.
We do a mask or some shit.
Yeah.
Like just like
yeah. No, there's really no thought into it. Or they try to use like stuff they already have and like throw a gold chain on it.
Yeah. Like I was a dice.
Like,
I was a dice before.
How did you create that?
I bought a big ass box, storage box. I cut out the two tops, and then I literally take printer paper and taped it around it, and it was
put the black little dots on.
Yeah,
there?
we're gonna have to add that to the.
All right, well, send me the picture. I'll add it to the.
And I was SpongeBob too one time, because me and my son, as a parent, you tend to get a little bit more childish for Halloween, especially as a dad. For girls, I wear a tutu. For my son, I'll be whatever. Right? I was SpongeBob because he picked it out.
Okay, so you dressed up with your kids for Halloween.
I had these thigh high. There was some fucking khaki pants, khaki shorts.
Okay, they were
shits
like
tight.
What are they called?
Hoochie Daddies.
Shorts.
Yeah, it was before Hoochie Daddies was a thing. Like I was out here.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger. I actually used to live in North Jersey, so like where we're recording at, like this is where I used to live. And like my dad would take me and my brother trick-or-treating, and we would always like dress up or whatever, but we didn't have like regular buckets. We always had pillowcases, because you could hold the most candy in pillowcases.
The ShopRite bags.
Oh, I never had those.
My mother would give us hella ShopRite bags and just tell us to have at it.
Those break though. The reason why we had pillowcases, because like my dad used those when he was younger. So he was like, you get a lot of candy. And I remember, I think he just wanted the candy for himself, because when we would go trick-or-treating, he would like tell us to hustle, like run to these houses.
Yeah, this is a business.
He'd be like, hustle. And
I want no peppermint patties. You better get a Butterfinger.
Yeah, so like because I was so little trick-or-treating, like he would always hold my candy bag like when there was like mad shit in it, and I would literally be done trick-or-treating. I'm like after like an hour, I'm like, okay, like I don't want to like go up to these houses no more. And he'll be like, let's just go to one more area. Let's go to a different neighborhood. But we would go to the neighborhoods, like the residential houses ones, because they would give like full candy bars.
Hell yeah.
And we would just dump the fucking bucket into our shit.
The crazy part is you look for neighborhoods that got money, right?
Yes.
So we used to go to this one neighborhood, and they would give out dollars.
Oh, they give out money?
Yeah, they was giving out money. So we was like, oh yeah, we hitting this neighborhood every year. Like, as a kid,
I never understood that. Like, but that's how you know the neighborhood had money, because why are you giving that out instead of candy?
Listen, I don't ask those questions. Why you asking those questions?
Yeah, it was good for the parents.
It was good for me. I know what a dollar did.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a hustler.
Yeah.
Shit,
but those were my memories of Halloween as I got older. I think, well, as I was a child.
What was your favorite costume as a kid?
So I was always like a princess, like some type of princess growing up.
Disney?
Yeah.
Are you still like a Disney princess?
No. So the reason why though, I think because it was an easy costume for my parents. Like we would just go to either Party City or whatever, and that was just like the easy one to put together. Like my parents were not creative at all with costumes. It's like pick whatever one on the wall, and if it fits, that's what you're gonna be.
My grandmother used to go to this one store, and they had them fucking hard ass plastic masks. Back in the day, they used to like cut your face. They was that fucking hard.
Oh shit.
And I had a Road Runner, because that was my favorite cartoon character as a kid, and that was my favorite costume.
Okay.
But I was a woman once. In seventh grade. Like a mask woman? No, an actual woman.
Like with a wig and lipstick?
I didn't have no lipstick
on.
I don't do no. I had on black wedges. Hey yo. Everybody did it in 7th grade.
Did they?
Yeah, it was my year. Just you? No, it was literally every boy in the school.
Why? Was that like something I talked about?
It must have been something that was discussed, right? I was the ugliest girl of all time, though. Like, I had these.
Do you have a picture?
I don't have a picture, thankfully.
Okay, because I was gonna put it on the screen.
I had these white pumps. They was like ankle high white pump boots. And then I had...
Why did you feel the need to wear heels?
Because I felt like I had to do it. Like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
You gotta go all the way?
But I couldn't find a wig, right? So it was last minute. The only thing my grandmother could find was like a witch's wig. So my shit was black and white and gray and shit. I was looking crazy.
Oh my God. Well, that's the purpose of Halloween, is to dress up however you want and be scary. So I'm sure people were horrified.
Oh, shut up.
They were like, what is this?
I was a pretty ass girl. Shit. Precursor to Nori. Nori, you're going to be beautiful, baby. You're going to be beautiful.
Nori is his daughter, if you guys don't know. Okay.
And she was a little clown today. And
Jaden, she was?
Yeah,
I think I saw the picture on your Instagram.
First off, she do not agree with none of this. She was not putting that wig on.
Was she crying?
Nah, she just take that shit off.
She just snatched it off.
Because
it didn't feel right. So she knew it wasn't okay. So today, though, we are both on PTO to record this and bring you guys this episode.
Because we love y'all.
Yes, we do. And we were just talking about the importance of taking PTO. I would say, like, when I first got like my big girl job and worked corporate after college, like I just knew immediately that this was not something. You good? But I just knew immediately that, like, I just felt like a hamster in a hamster wheel, like going to work every day, clocking in, seeing the same people in the little kitchenette during lunch, and just doing the same shit over and over. So, like, I just knew that, like, being in corporate forever, which is like 40 years until I retire, was never my ultimate goal. So, in order to make sure that I follow that path, I was always into just trying different shit. Like we talked about, the importance of just seeing what you're good at and what doesn't work and what does. So in order to do that, though, it's all about time management. Like, we all get the same 24 hours, but at the same time, you can't be so, like, you can do your job well, but you have to understand that you need to take some time off to put that time aside to potentially, like, get into something that you want to get into. So for us, it's the podcasting today. And then later I'm going to just do some more researching on, like, my personal projects. But for you, like, do you think PTO is something that you make sure you take, or do you kind of just, like, let it carry over for the next year? You may not take it. Like, what's your stance on that?
I think it's a mixture of both. Like, ideally, depending on the job you have, how much PTO you get. My job kind of forces you to use it within a year, which kind of sucks for me because I don't always have shit planned. I don't like staycation.
You don't have to get, like, you, and I had this conversation with my aunt the other day too, is because like, there was a point in time, like, she's been working for like 30 years, but there was a point in time where she truly did not take PTO because she was killing herself for her job. She, like, wanted to make sure she was there every day, do her work well. And it's like, now you have, I think she had like 30 something days of PTO, and then they, like, forced her to take it. But now she's more, like, lenient, where it's like, oh, I'm definitely taking my days off and stuff like that. But it's like, why would you not take your PTO? Like, are you that dedicated to your job where, like, you just want to make sure they don't like look at you as like, oh, you're not doing enough?
So I'm weird. I see it. Like, I enjoy being at work. Like, it's kind of my place of peace. So,
I don't enjoy being at work.
Yeah, but see, for me, that's like, I don't want to not be here. Like, especially if I don't have nothing planned. Like, if I got something planned, then fuck it, I don't need to be here. Like, I'm gonna be in the beach somewhere. Like,
so you don't like those days when you can, like, you're off work, but you're just chilling home, getting everything done, doing your laundry, cleaning.
I'm very bad at that shit. Like, everything could be planned. Like, even my days off. Like, today, I'm just like, you know what? I can do so much from the time I wake up to the time I gotta get on the road to come shoot. Right. But meanwhile, I got up, showered, then came and shoot. Like, that's how I operate.
You didn't do shit.
I didn't do shit. And it's not like I can't do shit. Like, I'm incapable. It's like my brain doesn't function this way. Like, I like working.
But it functions better at work.
Yeah. Like, I like being productive. I like being busy.
I'm the freaking opposite. Like, at work, yes, I get shit done, but I know how many other things I could be getting done if I wasn't here. Like when I'm home during the weekday, because during the weekday, that's where I have like most of my energy. But after work, like obviously you're tired, you're getting ready for the next day. But during the day, like I literally want to take over the fucking world.
That's why we need to kick Henry Ford's grave, because he's the person that created the 8-hour workday. And
that just reminded me of a conversation I had with my aunt yesterday, who's looking for a job as well. She said that her next role, she does not want to work 8 hours, but she wants the same amount of money. And I don't know if she wants to work from home, but apparently, because she comes from like a law firm environment, and a lot of their hours weren't necessarily like 8-hour work days. Like it just varied depending on the case and stuff. And she was in tech. So like she was the like the technology department. So I guess it like ran on those schedules as well. I don't know. But I was trying to understand like, well, if you don't want to work 8 hours, are you trying to work, you're trying to work not corporate, but like contract? Like what are you, like, is it part-time? Because what jobs out there can you not work 8 hours a day and make the same amount of money?
If you get a salary job, you can easily manipulate how many hours you work a day.
I don't think so.
So when I fresh out of college, I worked for a tool company, and ideally I should be putting 8 hours in, right? But if I can get to a store, do an hour, drive to the next store, do an hour, if I can plan my day accordingly and talk to the right people and make sure my business is set, I don't have to be there but more than 5 hours. That's how I got into my long distance relationship.
So,
and I was
but
able to do everything I needed to do.
It's a different kind of job though. Like you're not, like you don't have to be in an office. I think when you have that flexibility, like you can schedule which offices you have to go to. I know one of my friends, like he is a sales rep. So like his territory is like a whole state. So he can just schedule like different doctor's offices throughout his day. But some days he's on the road and other days are, they call it like work days or admin days, where you are just scheduling out your schedule for the week. But most of the time he's not really doing his fucking work. Like he's doing other shit. He's like going to the mall, like doing other business ventures and stuff like that. So he can manipulate his schedule. But if you are in a work environment where you have to go to an office every day, you don't have that luxury like me that I mention on every fucking episode. Like I don't have that luxury of manipulating my schedule because I am salary as well. But they know I'm going to be there from 9 to 5 because my department is there every day.
I would suggest getting into sales. And not because I don't
want to do sales. Like I thought about it.
You ain't got to do shit.
I truly thought about it. Like,
so I got this really like off brain idea of what I would do if I owned a business. I would literally only hire women sales reps. Ideally blonde hair, blue eyed, big titty girls. Why? Because they can literally walk into an office and everything that they want, these people will give them. Is it fair? Absolutely not.
It's not fair, but then it goes back to the other episode for diversity inclusion. Like,
it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with knowing that my clientele will literally bend at the whim of these white women.
So it's about the money.
Absolutely. So if you're smart in business, do what you need to do. I understand it. I'm not going to criticize you for that. So for,
let's say every sales job had that mentality where they know that these kind of women can sell products and people will buy it for them, but everyone else who's in sales that looks different and may not be that attractive, oh, we're not hiring you because we know you're not going to sell based off your looks.
Is that not how the modeling industry works?
Modeling and sales, like that's not the same thing.
Saying.
Like when you're talking about
sales,
but when you're talking about a corporation that needs diversity and needs to include other races and cultures, and we're talking about equality, like if that was the case, nobody would have a sales job besides.
Which is why diversity and inclusion is important. But at the same time, if I'm a very smart businessman, from my experiences, I work with a lot of white girls. They didn't know half the material. They didn't need to know it. They can literally just walk in.
But that's them. Like that's a privilege though.
Yeah. So privilege makes money. Do you want to avoid?
If that was the mentality for every company out here, you probably wouldn't even have a job either.
Which is the reality, because you know
It's
who
not the
benefits the
reality,
most
though.
from diversity?
Who?
White women.
I'm sure they do.
So,
but like
trust
that's
me.
why we have to create those avenues and like go after these jobs so that we're in the top spots to put people like us on. So it's not just because I've worked in plenty of jobs where like I'm either the only black woman or the only woman, and I hate it. Like I hate being in those circles, but that's just the reality of it, like you said. And like, oh, that's maybe their mindset, and now all of a sudden they want to do diversity inclusion. But when you're doing that, like, are you actually hiring other women and giving them those opportunities that look like me, or is it just to check off that box?
It's definitely check off the box. And the crazy thing
that's
is,
the problem.
You as an attractive black woman can do the same exact job as an attractive white woman and have the same exact results. So they have no problem doing that with you, especially if they don't have to do it with all of them. Like, I've seen this. This is why I don't want to work in sales, even if I'm good at it.
The reason why I wouldn't want to do sales is because you have to sell the product and you have to basically like persuade the person into feeling like whatever you're selling is what they need. And I probably could do that, but like to me it just seems exhausting.
It would. I promise you, you can literally do it with no effort whatsoever.
I'm gonna see.
And it's simply because of attraction. Men are easy.
They are easy.
Men are very easy. I had this one guy, because I worked for digital advertising, and I always took one of my coworkers with me. She was a black girl. She went to Spelman. She was Miss Spelman from like 20 years ago. So she was still attractive. She's just older. Everywhere we walked in, I had a dude. Oh, let's go and talk this over dinner. You don't need to talk this over dinner. And then on top of that, guess what they would do? Oh, just you and me. He doesn't have to be there.
I was going to say, like, there's been situations where women in sales, particularly real estate, because a lot of like real estate agents, their closings and those kind of conversations, like they happen at lunch or like dinner, or like they're showing a house where it's just them and let's say they're male clients. I've heard where like they've been, it's basically being assaulted, where like you're being touched or fondled, or someone thinking that because it's just you and them and you're attractive that they can push up on you. And it's like, no, like that's disrespectful, and we're still in a professional environment. Like I'm trying to close a sale. So doing all of that, like you may get that sale, but what, like you have to have sex with the person in order for them to want to buy something from you?
As a future real estate superstar, because I'm speaking that into existence for you. Ding, ding.
Appreciate you.
That's something that you're going to have to definitely navigate. And the important part is, am I going to sacrifice these dollars, as Jasmine would say, or am I going to stand on it? Because it's going to be real hard to stand on it sometimes when you know it's harmless. Because some men, when they do it, you like,
I don't think it's gonna be hard though, because I think if you know where your integrity lies and your boundaries and stuff like that, like if you have respect for yourself, it don't matter how many dollars there is. Like I'm not doing that, because like whatever, I forgot which number episode we had where we talked about like getting promotions and messing with people in the workplace and stuff like that. Like those things, they do circle around.
Absolutely.
Right? Like they become rumors. It's like, oh, we know why she's getting sales. I actually watched I'm big on Selling Sunset, Selling Tampa, and they recently had another series, Selling Something, but it's all on Netflix. Like it's a Netflix series about just like real estate agents, and usually they are like really beautiful. And there was one rumor going around in the office about one of the agents, and they were like, oh, we know how she gets her clientele and how she gets her closings is because they were basically referencing that she's sleeping with a lot of the guys who buy the houses. And that's not a good light to be under, because when you do eventually get to whatever is your idea of success, And people are just like, yeah, well, she got that because she messed with so-and-so and did this, that, and the third. Like, that's not something I want to be known for in my legacy.
And I think you said something really important, because I was going to ask you a question, like, what if you don't give a fuck?
I give a fuck.
Because you give a fuck, that matters, right? I seen another dude who, after every closing, he would buy him like Louis Vuitton and all these luxury
I've
things.
seen that.
Right?
That's actually a trend now because of him.
So what's the difference between selling monetary things and selling your body? If you view it as the same, listen,
that
we just
is
said,
not even the same
we literally
thing.
just said, we literally just said sex is transactional earlier. That's you.
It can be transactional, exactly. So, but that's why I was saying, like, why are women surprised knowing that they're going to these places to see these men? Like, they're paying for all this stuff. That's a transaction. But for me, I'm not doing any of this stuff expecting,
because you have integrity.
Exactly, expecting some type of sexual offer or transaction. Like, I do not want that. Like, maybe I will get to a point where at closing I'm giving a Louis Vuitton bag or like a pen or whatever the case it is, but it's not
a pen.
It's something little. Like, I don't want it to be nothing crazy. I'm sorry, unless it's included in your loan, where like that's where
you
this
can
money's
sign.
coming
You
from.
can sign with this Louis pen. That's what you.
Yeah, like if it's some wild ass extravagant
That's
gift,
funny.
I'm not doing that, because like that's still looked at as like, oh shit, you know, like they gave me some type of gift. But in corporate, there's certain gifts that are not appropriate. Like, you can go out to dinner and lunch with people, and that's okay. But if you're giving a lot of personal gifts and like buying purses, just like doing shit that's just not really appropriate, that's against the company's policy. So
Unless you know how to manipulate it, you can give multiple people gifts of this sort. So now, oh, she just so happened to get a Louis bag. This person got a Steve Madden.
yeah.
Like,
But I think that's okay though when it comes to real estate. Like that's not that big of a
obviously,
deal.
it's a lot more understandable to give somebody a Louis bag than some pussy. I completely understand.
That's not even the same thing.
I completely understand. But if this is what gets you to where you need to go and you aren't conflicted, I don't have a problem with it. Like, I think
it depends on your morals, because if some people, like, if you truly don't have morals and you're just like, I'm going to basically sell myself to get this transaction or get what I want to get a step above, or just get something in return that's going to benefit my career, then that's you. Like, that's how you want to get ahead. But for me, like, that was never a thing. And I could do that easily. Trust me.
people sell themselves way more than physically.
Yeah, for a lot less.
It's a travesty. But at the same time, sex work is good work if that's what you believe in. I'm not here to criticize you.
We're definitely not knocking sex work.
Not necking. They necking they be necking.
We're not knocking sex work. We're saying it in a sense of a business transaction.
Of course.
When we're talking about just regular like real estate or corporate company, like, you don't want to be that person known by giving necking, and that's how you're getting above and getting all these clients and stuff.
Yeah, that's why nobody wants to teach her with the OnlyFans. Like,
What teacher with OnlyFans?
You never heard that?
No.
Teachers? Listen, if my son had a teacher with an OnlyFans, I would be deeply distraught. Like, but I would click on it.
But what if they're like a really good teacher? You still it wouldn't be appropriate? Okay.
It wouldn't be appropriate. I mean, she'd be a cool teacher with me, but
okay.
Hey,
All right.
Listen, get your money, sis. Teaching is a hard.
Everybody's way of making ends meet is different. I just know for me that just was never a route I wanted to take.
She using her meat to make ends. I understand.
Yes. So on that note, guys, we are going to wrap up the episode. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Happy Halloween. And if you do want to reach out to us, you can follow the Instagram page, We Outside Afterwork. Email us at woawpod@gmail.com. And on that note, we outside and we out.
We outside and we out.